Adjusting. All right. Let me know in the comments if it looks okay, sounds okay. Ah. I don't know why there's a glare. What do you want, Elvira? Being so needy today. All right. It is it's Tuesday, and last week sounds good. Love the Beetlejuice framing. Yes. This was made for me by Nerd Chamber. And it's nice fucking model, and it's been sitting on the floor. Hey, what's going on, man? It's been sitting on the floor of my master bedroom for about a year now, so I said, fuck it. I'm just gonna put it up there tonight. How is everybody doing? I love Beetlejuice as well. So, last week was fun and kind of impromptu, and we decided, I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing anything tonight. Might as well stream again and see what all you crazy people are up to. Is there going to be a new Beetlejuice? They say it every fucking year. And then some asshole makes like a Photoshop poster and everybody thinks it's real all the time. Because at one point it was going to be the dude who was writing a bunch of Tim Burton stuff, writing it, and I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but whatever. I'm sure it'll get rebooted. I'm really not into a new Beetlejuice. It could be cool. You know, what do I know? But I just, it's going on. Everyone who's coming in, hello. Last week I was trying hard to keep up with the comments. So if I didn't answer your question, I wasn't ignoring you or trying to be a dick. I just couldn't get to everything. And I mean, it's not like couldn't get to everyone because I'm so, you know. And so you're welcome to Amateur Hour. We are called that because apparently my former co-host said that anyone who records a show in their kitchen is an amateur. So I'm embracing it. There's nothing fucking wrong with being an amateur. It's better than being a sellout. So here we are. Metz is going to be joining me in a little bit. Metz is coming from work. So I was just kind of like, we'll just do what we did last week and just fucking chat and see what's what, you know? My fucking phone is blowing up though with text messages. Fallon is updating me on all the things I have to fix for the script before Thursday. So I'm slowly trying to get to them because we're filming with two of the known guest stars. So it's a skill to read all that comments. No, not really. Amateurs. Yeah, amateurs versus sellouts, dude. Like I said in the Discord, like I would much rather be fucking punk rock. I'd rather be Operation Ivy than corporate. Like nobody wants to be Creed, you know, except the boxer Creed. That's okay. A review coming this Friday. I only hear about them when they talk shit about me, so it's fine, you know. I don't know why my camera looks so shitty on there, but whatever. I have my cell phone set up, and I would be Creed. Well, you know, look at this photograph. What's up, Newt? Drop some hot fire tonight. I mean, whenever I take the mic, I spit fire. I can't help it, you know. No, I just kind of make this shit up as I go. Are you excited for Chapter 1 of the new DC Universe? Looking forward. Yes, Brave and the Bold could be really cool. It'll be cool to see them actually work with the Bat family. An established. There's been Robins already. If we're gonna have Damian, that's why I like the Affleck one so much, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. I like the idea of a built-in world where we don't have to go back and show all of it. It can just be there and just we can, you know, play in that world of Nightwings and spoilers and all that stuff. Yeah, Damian's a great Robin. It took me a while to kind of get warmed up. Creature Commandos I'm very excited about. Anything with monsters is always something cool. And the idea that they're going to do awesome, because that show was great and it just didn't get the love that I thought it would, so it got canceled really fast. Jesus Christ. Text. What do I get? Um, yeah, we'll see how the Flash goes, how much they'll reset, how much they won't reset. It sucks we're gonna get a new Superman because I really was a big fan. No, I'm not blowing. It's just like stuff that I've been slowly whittling down all day. I'm doing a lot of hand motions. That I've been whittling down all day and just making sure that I get to all of it. There's also a new animated Batman movie with a Lovecraftian style. Ooh. That was the thing about Gotham by Gaslight that bummed me out, dude, was that they didn't go with the Mike Mignola artwork. Because, Gotham by Gaslight is the first Elseworld story. And they went with that kind of formulaic New 52 vibe to it. Let me get to these. Trying to work and watch this. I mean, you're not missing much. It's just me sitting here right now. Gods and Monsters was awesome. Yeah. It's called The Doom. The Doom That Came to Gotham. Okay. I know that one. And there's also going to be, speaking of Mignola, there's going to be a Crooked Man Hellboy movie, which I'm pretty excited about. DC Watch the Dark Universe. Yeah. That Dark Universe, man. Remember how much fucking work they put into advertising that, and then it just one and done. The Mummy could have been really cool. No, animated, or not animated, like live action new Hellboy. I thought the last Hellboy movie kind of got looked unfinished in a lot of HUD, and him having like a larger world to play in, even though some of the stuff, the sound keeps skipping, dude. Okay, let me see what I can do here. Trying to play with this here. Let me know if it does that again. I'm trying to keep it. Okay. Who would I cast as Plastic Man? Newt has a schnoz. That is true. I do have a big nose. I don't know. The dude who played Polka Dot Man would be pretty cool as Plastic Man, but they've already used him, unless the universe gets reset. Yeah. Now the video is better. Sound too. Okay, yeah. I don't know what's up here. What's your most anticipated film coming up in 23? Well, anything I make, of course. Flash, probably, and Indiana Jones. I'm excited for both of them. I don't know. It's weird. Plastic Man, Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville, like 15 years ago. How many people did the shark kill in Jaws? It killed Pippin. It killed Alex Kittner. It killed Ben Gardner. It killed Chrissy in the beginning. Who else? The dude on the boat. Is that it? And that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Tell me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Indiana Jones going to be bad. A buddy of mine is, my buddy Brian is worked on it a little bit. Newt sticks both hands in his nose when he gets cold. Yeah, I mean, I could. You don't know. I think my nose is the only big thing I got. I don't know. My buddy's working on it. He said they redid the ending. He's just doing like post-production stuff on it. And he won't tell me anything about it as much as I try to ask, but he's like, the studio wasn't crazy about the original ending because it wasn't big enough. So they're going back and, they went back and they did some stuff. And then I think John Williams played music that's not going to be in the movie at one of the events that he did in LA or London or wherever John Williams does John Williams things. How can you forget about Quint? The greatest monologue in movie history is the USS Indianapolis. And the sequel was going to be that story, but as a full movie. But instead, they did Jaws 2. I would have just done. You could have made far more if each one was an individual just shark attack story. It's kind of sad that John Williams getting old. Yeah, he's like 90-something years old, man. Time is the fire we all burn in. So I feel it's a lot of times too. I'm like, I'm 40 fucking 1 years old. It sucks. Because at one point I was the 17-year-old kid laughing at people like me. Fights Kang. Well, Kang was the best part of Ant-Man. Everybody was pissed off about MODOK. I thought MODOK was great because I think it was supposed to look that bad, and I like his little legs. Newt's nose has a wingspan. Yeah. All right. It's also got its own councilman. That's how big it is. You excited for Crystal Lake series? It's weird that they're going to do a prequel series for Jason unless you're going to explain what the fuck he was doing all those years hanging out in the woods. I don't want to see them reboot Friday the 13th again. I would rather just continue to tell unique Jason stories going forward, but what do I know? That's why I don't work in the Hollywood. I'm an amateur sitting in this kitchen. Not big on the dude who's doing the Crystal Lake series though is the guy who did Hannibal, right? And I think he was the original showrunner of Daredevil on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. With multiple cat. Elvira, can you? There's another cat outside, so my cat's going insane. Possibly get multiple Dooms. Yes, multiple Dooms would be awesome. I want to see Doctor Doom. Would have loved the sequel. Yeah, because I watched a video. I might have been like Joe Blow or somebody like that. And Bryan Cranston's Galactus. Now that would be great. I'd be all for that. Doctor Doom done right. Yeah, I don't know why they're so... okay. I don't know why they're so big on, not doing Doom the right way. Like, I don't care. Give him the fucking haunted armor. It doesn't matter. There we go. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with any of this stuff. I want a proper Doom. Yeah, the Fantastic Four though. I mean, it's hard because it's like they've already made a perfect Fantastic Four movie. It was called The Incredibles. There's really no, the Josh Trank one. The only reason I remember that movie at all was the theater I used to run in Wayne, PA. It's very wealthy area, and a bunch of kids had a money fight essentially, and they balled up money and threw it at each other. And this guy Jared, who used to work for me, who used to be Justin Silverman's roommate, he went in to clean and came out with like $60, and that's the only reason that I remember the Josh Trank Fantastic Four movie, Fan Four Stick. I'm mostly 24. A24 is very hit and miss with me. I didn't see Men. Obviously, I liked, I liked Hereditary and shit like that. I'd hate to be Justin Silverman's roommate. Well, but Justin Silverman's roommate would hate to be roommates with Justin Silverman. I don't know. I heard Men was a trip. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it. I was more hyped about X and was it Alex Garland? I was more hyped about X and Pearl than anything at that point. And The Whale, but that's not a horror movie. I want Mads Mikkelsen to be Doctor Doom, or the dude who played he's the bad guy on The Mandalorian, and he was Gustavo Fring on Breaking Bad. I think he would be a really good Doctor Doom. And then somebody said in Loki, one of the places they were in was Latveria, but I hadn't finished Loki yet, so I'm not sure. Giancarlo, okay, yeah, like he would be a good Doctor Doom. I like him on The Mandalorian. I just saw Dungeons and Dragons last week, which is coming out in like a month, and I really dug that. As somebody who doesn't really know a lot about Dungeons and Dragons, I thought it was a lot of fun. It felt like an 80s. I loved Ex Machina. Yeah, Ex Machina was awesome, but I haven't seen Men. I'm seeing Scream 6 on Friday, I think, because I've been doing a lot of consultation work for different theaters in Jersey, Delaware, and PA, I've been going to exhibitor screenings, so I've been seeing things super early, which has been kind of cool. I saw the trailer for the new Children of Corn. Videos with me. Did it make me want to play D&D? The nobody ever asked me to play. It's like doing drugs. I'm not opposed to it, just nobody ever offered. Ghostface takes Manhattan. Yeah, I don't think Ghostface stands a chance against Jason. Think about Scream 6. That underground cult thing reminds me of the Court of Owls from Batman, where like there was that secret society and they were buying and selling like Batman rogue shit. Like somebody bought the crowbar that killed Jason Todd and the unsynthesized version of the Joker gas and stuff like that. So it kind of would remind me of. Would you like to know more about his father, Elias? Why do we got to know everything about everything? You know, Wolverine becomes less interesting when you know his backstory. Michael Myers becomes less interesting when you know their backstory. Children of the Corn thing, though, Lana sent me, Lana, who has done a couple videos with me, she sent me the trailer, and it's weird. It looks a lot, yeah, why is his name Solo? Exactly, fuck that. It looks interesting, but I love that they keep saying it's based on a Stephen King story. It's like, no, it was a 30-page short that they made into like 22 movies. I passed off the first D announcement. So the 2001 D&D movie was fucking awful. But this one was actually a lot of fun, and I like the cast a lot. But speaking of the Mandalorian, the Rodriguez, the chick who was in the Fast and the Furious movies, who's in this one, it seemed they wanted that woman who was on the Mandalorian who got fired for having an opinion. It's just what it felt like to me. I was like, oh, I think they wanted that woman instead of the Resident Evil woman, but that's what they got. And Chris Pine is too handsome and charming for his own good. So that, you know. Yeah, I don't... Look. The Echo... Yeah, Gina Carano. She was like an MMA fighter or something. I don't... You know, I didn't know. Everybody liked her when she was like wearing the Belle outfit. And then all of a sudden it was just like, her opinion's different than mine. Time to cancel. You know, people say dumb shit all the time. It's about saying, hey, this is why I think that thing you said was dumb. And then you meeting that person in the middle and going, if I offended you, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about that. I come from this world. And that's how we move forward as a fucking people. You know, I sit here with Metz, who's trans, and we have conversations. And, you know, I'm 40 fucking 1 years old, man. I'm a white dude, straight white guy from the suburbs. You know, I don't think I met my first African-American person until I was like 14. And it's like, yeah, there are ways that we were brought up. And when you realize that there are other ways out there and people start to communicate with each other and find out why something is wrong, other than some shit that you know is just wrong, like we can break down a lot of this stuff by just talking to each other. But instead, everybody's just so fucking quick to cancel people. And there's some shit that's totally cancelable and you know, and should be. And there's people who are out there right now who are still in doing things and getting money, who are pedophile enablers and fucking racists and scumbags. But, you know, fine film can truly expand the horizon. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the biggest thing was like getting into, at a really young age, getting into like blaxploitation movies. At first it was because like I liked the music and I liked the outfits and shit like that. But then it was just like, oh, there's something more here. And it leads you back down that rabbit hole, like leading you back to like the Chitlin circuit and stuff like that. And I became huge on black cinema basically because of that. The video is grainy as hell, might be a connection issue. It's on my phone. I don't know. I'll look at it. But I'll check it out. Sorry, Colin. So anybody who's watching this, sorry, you know, I have diarrhea of the mouth. Sometimes I censor myself with everything. Yeah, and I mean, there are people who go like, oh, you can't make jokes anymore. And it's like, no, you can still make jokes, but you have to, you know, you have to remember the world around you, basically. And the shit that people say in private is so completely different than what you think is acceptable out there in the main world. Like, you know, all the years of running movie theaters and the comic book store, I'm always amazed by people who come up to me and say like really, really disgusting, racist, homophobic shit, just thinking that because I'm an ugly white dude, I'm also have the same mindset as them, you know. But I had super racist dad and my mom and my dad's side of the family. So like growing up and being short and ugly and you know, not that smart, I kind of gravitated towards the other people who felt like they, the marginalized people. I knew what it was like to feel like shit of myself, not what other people put on me. So I always was friends with those people and learned a lot more about, different cultures and all that stuff from just having friends. Blockbuster lost a valued employee. When I when I told those people that that they picked a bad movie. Let's see. I'm autistic. It's hella weird. I'm used to people treating me different. Well, yeah, but I mean, again, I didn't really meet autistic people or know what autism was until like I was in high school. There were kids who were different, but we didn't know the difference when we were younger. We didn't have autism existed, obviously, but we just weren't open to it. And you look at like old raunchy comedies, like look at anything that Mel Brooks did. Okay, you couldn't make those movies now, but they were pointing out how stupid racism was and sexism was and all that kind of stuff. There's a difference, and people need to learn context. We can solve a lot of problems with context. Blazing Saddles is fucking great. That's such a good movie. Again, Young Frankenstein is my favorite just because it so perfectly captures the spirit of James Whale's Frankenstein movies. Did you know that Frankenstein was the doctor? Let's see. Men in Tights. Yep. Saw that one in the theater. They're doing History of the World Part 2 is coming to like Hulu or something. I don't know. Sorry if I missed anybody's stuff here. Yeah, Blazing Saddles is great. I love the, yeah, Dracula Dead and Loving It, I've never seen. And I probably should see it. Because I like everyone who's involved in it. Like, again, from the old channel, Peter McNichol is Renfield in it, and he's Janosch in Ghostbusters 2. He's the best part of Ghostbusters 2. That and Bill Murray's jacket. I should just redo all the movies I did over there, but here, my own way. I think it's disconnected. Is it when autistic people portrayed in the movies? Well, yeah, because they make autism like a severe disability or a superpower. There's no middle ground when it comes to autism in movies. A lot of people who I'm friends with from high school and stuff like that, they have kids who are autistic and or Asperger's. Yeah. I don't know. It's learning a little bit more about this shit and being able to, my brother's daughter, his oldest daughter is 8, I think, and she has autism. So there's a lot of stuff that I've learned about how to deal with people with certain, I don't want to say disabilities because it's not a disability, really. People learn to live with it. People are able to function. Do it. I will never watch the old show. People like it. Like I said, there's room for everything, man. And I like it. That's why I called this amateur hour. I don't care. If that's what it wants to be, that's what it wants to be. Yeah, I think Rain Man might have been the first time that I ever learned anything about autism. We get a swat across the head. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting that I grew up in a different time and things are, have changed so much that I can see why people who are my age or a little bit older get upset about certain things. You don't want to go Simple Jack. That movie was hilarious. And again, just like with a Mel Brooks movie, it was pointing out how vapid and stupid and shallow everything was. And people didn't get it and people didn't understand. They're like, he's in blackface. And this is 15 years after that movie came out. People are getting mad about it. And I was like, again, context. Every work should have a common sense person. There should just be a person that you go to when there's problems. And they're just the common sense person. They're just the person who looks at both sides and doesn't let things get fucking like politicized and everybody's agendas are so fucking crazy and out of whack, and I want everyone to be represented and happy and all that shit, but everybody's gotta fucking have an agenda, make things difficult on everybody. Before I got into it with friends of the old show. There was a OnlyFans woman and a rapper guy, and they posted a thing about comic books, and I simply said that when it comes to woke culture, again, common sense is the way to do it. Don't add a character that is trans or gay or lesbian or autistic or something if that's their only trait. If representation means it's just like, oh, you're just there to be that, well, then that's not really a character. You know, there's a reason that Spider-Man, Superman, all these things exist is because they're characters. We see ourselves in them. We see hopes, dreams, fears, whatever. And it just becomes the thing where it's like, I'm the GOAT. Well, you know, I'm no Tom Brady. But it's just like, if I'm just going to be a prop, don't include me. You know, and that's easy to say as a straight white guy who's always seen themselves in everything. But they were like, well, it's good just to be there. And I agree, but no young person is going to pick up a comic where they're just an excuse for an out-of-touch publisher or producer to pat themselves on the back and go, look how progressive I am, despite companies like Disney, years and years of being fucking homophobic scumbags. Like, people who are black, who are trans, who are Asian, gay, you know, autistic, Asperger's, whatever, they should be the ones who are writing these characters, because then they can bring something to it. That's what inclusive autism is, 27. Yeah, or wasn't there one with Sia made a movie where like the autistic girl wasn't really autistic in real life, and then that's right, setting the standard. I'm the people's champion of late 30s, early 40-year-old guys filming in their kitchen. Yeah, Predator was embarrassing. The one with Sia was embarrassing. They either like turn people with autism, like I said, into like, it's like a severe thing where there's just no hope for the person, or it's a superpower. And I'm just like, no, maybe we should like actually meet an autistic person and write something that way. Prey was good. I like Prey. And I like people are saying like do other timelines or other periods in time, like feudalistic Japan, and have like samurais versus predators. I had an idea years ago for a 1950s B movie that a predator shows up at first. People think that it's part of the movie, and then, you know, the big action hero, the Charlton Heston of the movie, turns out to be a big fucking pussy, and it's up to like the marginalized people on the set to save the day. Futuristic Predator would be cool too. I'm shocked that they've never done anything like that before. All right, I finally caught this. Welcome, Brian. Welcome everyone who is watching right now. Again, I had so much fun last week doing this that I thought it'd be cool to just sit down and talk to everyone. Yeah, Predator in Egypt would be fucking dope. But the slaves save the day. I think that would be the way to do that one. And then, but again, it would be so close to the pyramid that they did in Alien versus Predator. True. Where they win. I apologize. I'm sorry that happened to you, Colin. That sucks. People, you're the man Newt loved watching. Well, you know, I saw post Star Trek versus Alien. As I want to start watching Picard because I heard the new season's really good. Dude, that'd be fun. I'm shocked that they never did a Terminator versus RoboCop movie. I'm shocked that they never did. You know, back at the time, I guess you can't now because of studio stuff, but back in the day, a Batman versus Predator movie would have been the fucking tits. Yeah, Picard's been decent. Yeah, because the last two seasons have done nothing for me, but I love the original cast and they of TNG, and you know, Gates McFadden. I've always had a crush on. So Crusher. Yeah, it was totally. So the first one was too. It was so heavy-handed. It's like sci-fi horror whatever works really well when it's a metaphor, when it's satire. You look at things from the 1950s being about the McCarthyism, and the 1960s about the civil rights movement. Instead, everything is just so on the fucking nose. And it's like, I have seen Batman Dead End. That one's great. Getting ready to watch Cocaine Bear on Friday. Yes, I'm seeing it on Friday too. I have to film with Fallon on Thursday. Would you consider making OnlyFans? We were thinking about doing one where we review movies that you can't review on YouTube, like doing porn parodies again, or doing like Caligula or something like that. Because nobody wants to see me naked. And that video was fucking hard to make. I've known Fallon for a long time. We are very comfortable with each other. But it's one other thing when you're trying to be fucking cool and you're sitting next to someone who's got those videos, and you're like, God damn it, I haven't made myself watch Picard yet. I'm going to produce. Do it, Ty. Do it. Need to watch Pulp Friction. Yep. I hate that you get to see all these movies before me. Well, it's just the, I said I was going to call it Send Newts. I said I was going to I totally lost my train of thought there. Are you happy in a good way, Newt? Man. Hope I didn't freeze up again. Just making sure this thing keeps rolling. I don't know why my connection's so shitty right now. I paid to up my bandwidth and all that garbage. Send Newts. Just seeing movies early because of the exhibitor screenings. A lot of indie theaters, they don't know if they're going to book something or not, so I get to go and sit with them and watch the movie and talk to the rep afterwards. We had a lot of thoughts on Creed 3, so I was kind of telling people like what I thought about it and all that, and then I shot a video and had to sign an NDA, so I'm not allowed to put it out yet, because there's a bunch of movies that are coming out over the next 2 months that I've already seen, and I shot reviews for them, but they're like, don't post them yet because we haven't passed the that statute of limitation yet for them. I lose my train of thought sometimes if I look away. Yeah, well, earlier my cat was attacking the fucking thing, and I thought she was going to jump up there and knock everything over. Have you ever been to an adult theater? Yes. I don't know if I've told that story before or not, but when I was 17, there used to be a porn theater on Chestnut Street in Philadelphia, and they were going out of business. At the time, they were projecting VHS. And my boss sent me there to pick up a bunch of gear because they had gotten rid of their 16 millimeter projectors, and I still have my splicer actually that they gave me from the gay porn theater. But they knew I was 17, so they had me wait at the back door for it. And then the dude had me. The guy who ran it was this like elderly Indian man. Elvira is sitting over there on the sofa, this elderly Indian man, and then I had to go in to pick up the boxes to carry stuff out, and I saw some things in there. Sup, Newt? Yo, what's going on, Tony L? Thank you guys all for, it could be that you're connected to the Wi-Fi since you're on your phone. True. I was trying to do this on my laptop, and my webcam is all fucked up again after I got it fixed, so I'm going to have to figure something out for that. But I have some gear that's coming in very soon. I got myself a new mic, a mic, and I got myself a fucking green screen and better camera. So I just had to wait until I had some money coming in from the other comic book. So then I have stuff coming in for that. I showed some people in the Discord some pages from Florida Man issue 4. You just learned the term spit roasted? Airtight, man. All holes filled. Space docking was one that Justin Silverman's sister told me all about. How's Tuesday night going, Wes? It's going all right. I vacuumed and dusted earlier today, so my nose has been all congested because I've been working every day for the last 2 weeks, and I I knew that Metz was going to come over, and I didn't want my apartment to smell like cat. So I was like, oh fuck, finger cuffs. Yep. Chasing Amy, my second favorite Kevin Smith movie. Yeah. Oh yeah. So issue 4 of Florida Man is done on March 3rd. The campaign goes up for Coney Waves, which I'm excited about. Oh yeah, dude. That's why I loved living down the shore. Because the salt air, I get allergies really bad, but all the time I lived down the shore, I never had to worry about it. I get them awful with allergies and shit. I never had the adult experience of local mom and pop store. No, I didn't either. I think I told that story before where we pushed a kid into the porn section and he hit his face on the rack and busted his mouth all up. Kang was doing Asian stereotypes. I didn't pick that up. Yeah, Dogma's my favorite as well. I don't know. I was kind of more taken aback by the colors of everything. I thought it was the most lively Marvel movie, but it does get a little stale when you get into the the how many holes do you have and all that kind of stuff. It just feels like they're kind of on autopilot. But it was far more interesting than there was so much of Wakanda Forever which I wanted to love and just didn't come out the way I thought it would. Said he. Well, it was also an Egyptian. Is the Pharaoh Kang, which is from his original first ever appearance in the Avengers, and I used to have that issue. Is he was a pharaoh, and then they kind of retconned that origin story to create Kang, and then they kind of brought it back in. I'm surprised you can have a pet cat. Never had any allergies to cats. My stepdad is so fucking allergic to cats, and so is my buddy Race, who I've done reviews with on here. He slept over here before he flew back to Ramatut, before he flew back to Phoenix, and he had to sleep on my sofa in my living room, and the cat, she slept in the bedroom with me, but he was dying. And then November, when everything fucking fell apart in my life, they had to, my mom and my stepdad came here because unfortunately I was under suicide watch at the time, and I got to give it to my fucking stepdad. He braved it out, man, but he's so allergic to cats. He thought he was going to die, and I couldn't do anything with her at the time. So, then I always keep it, dander free in here and vacuumed up and all that kind of stuff. And she doesn't really shed that much. But she's a little asshole, but I love her. I liked Clerks 3. Okay. Anybody who saw my video, Clerks 3 was a tough one for me simply because, the entire Screenwave crew was there, and it was very awkward. And they sat in front of us, and it was very hard to kind of pay attention to the movie. So I was, the heart attack movie. So I didn't really get to focus as much on the movie. I'm going to go back and rewatch it. Because again, I like Kevin Smith, and I know he gets a lot of shit, but Kerry Russell is still smoking hot. I like Mallrats. Mallrats is actually going to be screening at the Colonial Theater in April in 35 millimeter. I was thinking about going up to see that one. And Kerry Russell has it. She was in the last Star Wars movie because J.J. Abrams basically paid her to only show her eyes, and she made a ton of money. Jay and Silent Bob. I didn't see the reboot, but I remember running the Americans. Okay, on FX. I've never seen that show, but I remember the video, like the commercials for it. I remember that was the first 35 millimeter print that I ever got to run for my friends. Running a theater was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. I just watched a documentary about what's it called? Afro Man recently. The Because I Got High song. The guy who printed Mania. I mean, other people have gotten used to it, have enjoyed it. A lot of people told me they really liked Clerks 3. Let me see, it's cast in Rooted Minds. He used to miss throwaway joke. Yeah, and it was again. It was Polka Dot Man doing the voice because he was in the other two Ant-Man movies with his crew. Didn't he find God? You mean Alanis Morissette? Growing up was Kelly Kapowski. Okay, so Kelly Kapowski from because I never really watched Saved by the Bell. She was married to Afro Man. Because I got high. She wasn't married to Afro Man. I'm answering the thing. Oh Jesus, I didn't know that. Afro Man's song "Because I Got High" was like the big song in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and he was like riding high. He was like the top guy, and then 9/11 happened, and then everybody just forgot about him. But Kelly Kapowski, she was married to the dude from Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place that was not Ryan Reynolds. He was also in an episode of The X-Files where he's partnered with Scully, and there's like a dude who takes people's pictures before they're going to die. So that dude is from Marlton, New Jersey, which is my hometown, and they were at a place called Champs in Marlton, and it's like a sports bar, and I think I was in like 8th grade, and we were watching a Flyers Buffalo Sabres playoff game, and I went to the bathroom, and when I turned the corner, there was Kelly Kapowski, and it fucking blew my mind. But that was really cool. That was neat to see her in real life, and very attractive woman. Didn't they lose the pizza place by the end? I barely remember the show. I just remember Ryan Reynolds in it because he was also in he was also on the X-Files as well. He got killed by the bleachers by those girls who were fucking witches or something. Topanga. I never watched that show either, but I knew who she was. The one girl from Boy Meets World became a porn star. Matilda Ward, I think was her name. She's a redhead, so Ryan Reynolds is overrated. Yeah, I mean, he's going to buy the Ottawa Senators. That's how much money he has. He was in Detective Pikachu, just like the kid who was in, yeah, that's who it is, Matilda Ward, or Matlin Ward. Okay. Yeah, and I like that they gave Michelle Pfeiffer something to do as well. Like, it wasn't as media role as Angela Bassett in Black Panther. I thought she was great in that. She elevated that. But I'm glad that they gave Michelle Pfeiffer something to do. Kimmy Gibbler. I only watched a little bit of Full House when I was a kid. I just could never get into those TGIF shows like that. Michelle Pfeiffer in Grease too. Yeah, I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer in general, fucking smoke show. They did Hank Pym dirt. Yeah, a little bit. Evangeline Lilly got tossed to the side. Which was funny was you prove how good an actress Evangeline Lilly is because she pretended to believe in science. That's a good acting job. I did watch. I watched Hanging with Mr. Cooper. I watched Perfect Strangers. I remember a bunch of them. I just never got into like the Urkel show and shit like that. Oh yeah, Batman Returns is definitely her top moment. I love Roseanne. Well, until we found out that she's like a racist psychopath, but I love the show. And I think that she and John Goodman have some of the best chemistry of any TV couple ever. Yeah, now we're just naming TV shows back in the day. Step by Step. Yes, Dinosaurs was, because I love the show where it ends, where it's like the fucking Ice Age. And I was like, that's a bleak ending. We are old. I wish I had my time back, man. I would do it all very differently. Well, that's like Empty Nest was a spinoff of Golden Girls, and I'm a huge Golden Girls fan. Mike Matei and I went to go see Golden Girls in a movie theater because they played 4 episodes, and we went to a movie theater to watch that. Newton chat, hey, remember when TV was good? TV's good now. You know, TV's more cinematic now. You look at something like, I'm watching The Last of Us, and I've never played the video game. I knew what the video game was. I know like the girl was supposed to be Elliot Page, and that show's been really, really good. No amateur hour, baby. Well, you know, we can talk about crushes all day. I've got mine. Tiffany Amber Thiessen, yes. I always found the Showgirls one hotter though. Uh, there's just something about her. I've always just really been a fan of. Oh, that's cool. Yo, what's going on, Winterfell? Elizabeth Berkley, yes. One of my very first reviews on this channel was Showgirls, which is a big movie I'm a big fan of. Used to be taboo for big screen to appear. Yeah, and now, and like back in the day, they used to tell people don't do TV. It'll ruin your career. And now it's the place to fucking be. You know, it's better than TV shows are better than and movies now. You know, every movie is a fucking Marvel movie, and where you could go and you could watch a series on Netflix, on HBO Prime or HBO Max or whatever, and it's all good shit. Wife annoyed that I was watching. What about The Sopranos? I actually just went back and rewatched The Sopranos front to back again not too long ago. I'm a big fan of The Sopranos, especially because it's like I grew up in New Jersey, and it's I've been to those, which is kind of cool. Pretending to be a detective. Alf eats a cat, yes, and Alf's real name was Gordon Shumway, and he was from Melmac. I never saw. Yes, Tilda Swinton is amazing. She's also really fucking great in Constantine. She's great in that one. Great, and The Devil is great in that. Peter Stormare is amazing in that one. I never watched Sons of Anarchy. People tell me to. It's got Peg Bundy in it. I probably would like it. As well as Legion. Legion was cool. I like that they did something with the X-Men universe that was a little bit different. Never saw The Good Doctor. I'm Italian. My dad. Oh, nice. Yeah, Constantine's great. Is the new Constantine confirmed? Yeah, they did, and then it disappeared from the James. It wasn't on James Gunn's radar. You know. Nowadays, kids have Anna Taylor-Joy. She looked very thin at some award show recently, and I was kind of worried about her because she has like giant eyes, so it makes her look like one of the aliens at the end of fucking Crystal Skull. I was like, eat a hamburger. But I do think she's very, very attractive, and I love her. She's got very Art Deco features. Legion was amazing. There's a rumor that Aubrey Plaza is playing the Shadow King, and that's cool. That'd be awesome. I love her because she scares me a little bit, Aubrey Plaza. She does eat a hamburger, and the greatest looking hamburger in movie history is at the end of that movie. That's Margot Robbie. I still really want to see I still really want to see Babylon, because people told me that one's really good. Yes, I hope they get Peter Stormare. Peter Stormare makes everything better. You know, now I am real Russian hero. Queen's Gambit, yeah, it was a good one. I know nothing about chess, and I was really enjoying that. Do you prefer spicy food or savory food? I love spicy food. I have an iron stomach, so. Oh, that's cool. You're born in the same hospital as as Barbie. I had to learn his name. Yeah, there's like certain actors who just are in everything, and you go, oh, that guy from Armageddon, from Fargo. You know their faces. It's like that with me being a big fan of like cult movies and exploitation movies. You just see these faces over and over again. You just learn their names. We were talking about Michael Moriarty earlier because we were talking about Q the Winged Serpent, and they're like, oh yeah, that guy, and I was like, yeah, he's in this and this, you know. I can't wait for Scream 6. Yeah, I'm seeing it this week, actually. Eliza Koteas is one of my favorite actors ever. Mostly because I saw him as a kid in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but he's been in so many good fucking things, and he's so underrated. He's just one of those actors who, slides into things so well. Well, thank you. Anytime anybody quotes Batman, I get excited. He was great in Fallen. He was great in Zodiac, which is a movie that people don't talk enough about. He's in Cyborg 2 with fucking Angelina Jolie, one of her first movies, the sequel to the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. Remembered Mo from Nickelodeon's Guts. I remember Guts. That was like a physical activities kind of thing. Finch is really, yeah. I mean, you know, I think that Zodiac might be his masterpiece, and people just don't talk about it enough. And the girl from Penny Arcade. I don't know what Penny Arcade was. Crash. Which version? The one that won the Oscar, or the one about people who are sexually attracted to car accidents? You didn't get. What did you guys have in Canada? Because Nickelodeon was essentially started by Mike Nesmith from the Monkees, and his mom was one of the creators of fucking Whiteout. So there's a little history lesson for you. Oh, the car accident one. Okay, the Cronenberg one. Would you conquer the aggro crag? I don't know what that is. Mostly YTV here. Okay. I don't blame you. You know, I'm comfortable enough in my heterosexuality to be like, that's a hot dude. I don't look like that. Even sitting next to Fallon in the video, rewatching it, and I'm like, I'm not even the same fucking species as you. Well, Canada's given us so much good stuff. Canada gave us The Kids in the Hall and fucking Friday the 13th, this series, and Goosebumps, and all kinds of good shit came out of Canada. Some of my favorite hockey players of all time, Legend of the Hidden Temple. I remember that one because I referenced it in a script that I wrote where somebody was like the Golden Monkeys or something like that. You Can't Do This on Television was one that was big when I was a kid. Alanis Morissette was on that. Double Dare. There was Pinwheel, which was huge when I was a kid. Also out of Canada, fucking Today's Special. The show about the mannequin that comes alive and they have adventures in a mall. Yes, Robbie was the name of the redhead in Friday the 13th, the series. I talked about that in an episode, and the Cinemassacre Truth said it was the most embarrassing video that's ever been made on the internet because I talk about my parents getting divorced, and I was just like, doesn't bother me. I've seen far more embarrassing videos. I've seen far more embarrassing videos from the channels that they usually make fun of more than me. The series I meant to say that has a good looking redhead. Okay, yeah. Obviously, at a young age, I was very attracted to I was very attracted to redheads. Salute Your Shorts. What was the other one? Hey Dude was filmed in Tucson. I went to the studio the ranch where they made that when I was living in Tucson, when I used to date Justin Silverman's sister, who does not look like him. Looks like Olivia Wilde, just in case you're worrying. Yeah, how we got on Canada? We're all over the place. Pete and Pete, great fucking show. Hey Dude, yes, Hey Dude had Ben Stiller's wife. She was also in Night of the Creeps, or no, not Night of the Demons Part 2. Yeah. And I named the character Mouse in Swamp Zombies 2 after the character in Night of the Demons Part 2. Donkey Lips. The dude who was Donkey Lips was friends with this guy, Tommy Avalone, who he's directed a bunch of documentaries. He did the Bill Murray one. He did Ghost Heads. He did the Barty one that's currently on Peacock. I grew up with him, and he used to have Donkey Lips come out and be in his films like Wasted Apples back in the day when I was running the comic book store. So I met Donkey Lips at I think it was called the 5 Points Diner, which is where I used to go to hang out with the redhead I used to hang out with after I was done work all the time at the Broadway Theater in Pittman. Strange Brew. You get fucking that's a good one. That's one I also haven't watched in a really, really long time. The Tragically Hip. Oh, Canada. Some good people up there. America's hat. And when we run out of resources down here, we're going to do Operation Leaf Blower. Yeah, there's just something different about movies at that time. And then you have like Canuxploitation movies like Curtains. The original My Bloody Valentine was filmed up there because of the tax shelters and all that stuff. And Olsey. It's weird to think that Australia is all of our favorite actors are derived from murderers and rapists from England. Zombie Nightmare, yeah, with John Mickle-Thor, who's in a movie with Len Kabaczynski. Yeah, Pontypool was awesome. So there's a small radio station around the corner from my apartment and like the main street. It's like old people like jazz and shit, but it reminds me of the Pontypool one every time I see it, and I'm just like, that's where I'm gonna go hide. Tusk, yeah, my Tusk video. You should hear how Aussies talk. You never called an Aussie a Kiwi either. Don't make that mistake. That's all right. I'm fine with them going the way of the dinosaur. Basically, redheads have been nothing but bad news for me. Making the last out. Well, thank you for stopping in, Ruben. I'm glad that people are here talking. I'm sorry it's not more interesting. I'm like, what do? I'm just gonna sit here and answer people's questions, and it's more interesting when there's somebody with me. But Bruce McDonald, yeah. Jessica Rabbit is overrated. Well, we want Mets. Mets is on their way. Mets is coming from work, so. Yo, dude, thank you, Johnny, for hanging out, and I'll do more of these. If people like it, I'll keep doing it. I mean, you can't go wrong with that outfit. For the Who Framed Roger Rabbit review for the other channel, I bought that person that outfit for the video. Yeah, Mets is on their way. Do theaters like the Colonial or the Highway ever take recommendations of possible older films to show? I think they do. Again, one of the things I was doing is consulting for the Highway and the Ambler. But the Colonial, they have a whole board of trustees, so they do their own thing. Hollywood. I really want to do Strange World, or not? Is it Strange World? What was that movie called? I don't remember what the movie is. Cruel World or Strange World, whatever. I really want Cool World. That's it. I want to do that one at some point because I remember seeing it in the theater. But to answer your, didn't you used to date? Yeah, off and on for 15 years, man. Yeah. So a lot of theaters don't do recommendations like that, but I've been helping some of them on how to get the rights to things. Back when I was still working at Screenwave, there was a lot more people doing drive-ins at that point because of COVID. So a lot of theaters reached out to me, and a lot of places who wanted to do like pop-up drive-ins in like parking lots. So I helped them get like how to get the licensing rights for stuff to exhibit, in drive-ins and parks and all that jazz. I've been around a long time. I know a thing or two about a thing or two. I just watched Cool World again. Some strong edibles. It came out in like 92, 93, so I was definitely too young to see it, but I'm a big fan. I've always been a big fan of Ralph Bakshi's work. Monkey Bone bothers me, man, because it's like that the graphic novel's awesome, and the movie just felt so like fucking just so sanitized to what it could have been. There's really only one scene in Ghost World or in Monkey Bone that really makes me laugh, and it's when Thomas Hayden Church is in the room with Whoopi Goldberg and fucking Brendan Fraser's talking about how he misses his girlfriend, and he's got the little things like, oh, I miss my girlfriend. That's the only part of that movie that made me laugh at all. Reading that. Yeah, the Crank guy's doing Hellboy. I'm all for that, dude. Hellboy is the comic that got me back into reading comics. I hate Chris Kattan. Chris Kattan was really good in House on Haunted Hill, which I'm bummed that I had Bell's palsy when they did that review because I had a lot to say about that movie. But then you see stuff like Corky Romano. It's just fucking garbage. I hate Chris Kattan. I love Chris Kattan. We're gonna start a war in here. It's gonna be like the team what was the guy's name in the Twilight movies? They would have like Team something. Team Jacob was the thing, I think. He's in the middle. Yeah, Thomas Hayden Church is always good. He's so fucking good in Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. I wish, yeah, I'm bummed out because I fucking love Hellboy 2. I bring that, Lowell from Wings, yep. And with Tony Shalhoub was in House on Haunted Hill, was from Wings. Wings was like Taxi, but for airplanes. And the one dude was the voice of Superman. Demon Knight's so great. I have the Demon Knight poster framed in my bedroom. It was the soundtrack was the first CD I ever bought because it had Pantera on it, Cemetery Gates, and I just discovered Pantera in 1994 when that movie came out. Yeah, no, the Hopper from Stranger Things. We're getting all these things confused. He was an okay Hellboy. It was just the special effects were so bad, and it just wasn't focused enough. But I love the larger anything with the Arthur legend in it. I'm always kind of into. Excalibur is one of my favorite movies of all time. John Borman's Excalibur. I really want to review that one at some point, but I'm not sure anybody would give a shit. Violent Night was awesome. Yes, it was. He was great. I love that movies like Violent Night exist and the Winnie the Pooh movie and fucking Cocaine Bear. Like, we're in an age again of exploitation, and I think that if this kind of stuff hits, then like we can kind of get away from the big tentpole movies and do fun exploitation stuff again. The Guy Ritchie one was with the dude from Sons of Anarchy. We there? Okay. Fallon was calling me.